Hey everybody, so I got this wheel here that's got a pretty good little sharp bend in it there, and it's kind of a basic single wall 26-inch wheel that somebody basically just thrown away and replaced. So I'm just using it as a little experiment to show how you can actually revive something like this. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So I'm right up in here to kind of see, what the middle of the wheel looks like. And normally when you're trying to push the rim, pull it one way or the other, if you want to take it over to this side, to the left side, normally you'll tighten the left spokes. Go over to the right side, normally you tighten the right side spoke there. So that's really not the correct way. If you're trying to straighten out a severely bent wheel, you ideally want to get the rim as straight as possible before you start dealing with the tension of the spokes there. Actually, what I'm going to do first is really we're going to just go ahead and loosen the spokes here on this side. And the reason being is we're actually going to, if you look, that's our bend is right in this area here. So we're going to push this rim over that way. And in order to do that, if we loosen these, the spokes here at the point, it'll allow us to push the rim over that way. And it's not like a thing where, I've seen a lot of people like take a rim and try to press it in a vise or push it against a, maybe a flat edge or something on this side. But this rim and that little point right there, it's going to actually have to come, it's got to flex over probably, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch past where it needs to be, and then once you push it back that far, it's going to release back, and then we'll have a straight rim. But in order for it to move over that far, we're going to have to loosen up these spokes right here. Okay, so what I've done here on the side of the rim, I made a couple just little arrows, on the location of where I'm going to basically bend it over. And basically right here is that's where it kind of peaks over. That's on that side. That's my arrow there on this side. It's kind of where it peaks, and then that's the other arrow there. So I'm going to loosen basically all the spokes on this side of the rim between the two arrows there. So normally I don't mark them, but if you've never done this, this might make it a little easier, if you just kind of mark the spot there, and then that's right where we're going to press on it. So go ahead and back the spokes off and get ready to press it into place. Okay, so you can see on this side, between the arrows here, I've loosened up the spokes that pull this side, and if you look close, you can see that the threads are exposed there. And I did the same thing, there on the other side. Start off with this side. There's our spot. We've got the two arrows, so we're gonna. Normally you can just kind of eyeball it too and look and see where the biggest, the peak is there. So normally I'll just, push on either end, especially here where it's kind of pushed over that side. I just clamped this little 2x4. It's kind of an old ratty 2x4 on the edge of my workbench. You kind of want to just push it, flex it. You gotta put some of your weight into it, but not so much where it just tacos it and destroys it. That side looks pretty good, and we'll go on to this side. It's like about right there, kind of right in where we drew the little mark is where it's peaked at there. So that's looking pretty good. Let's put it back up in the truing stand and see what we got going on. Okay, so this is after we bent the rim, and you can say, well, it didn't really look much better, but if you look at it now, where all the spokes that are, are really loose there, we just basically tighten those up. That's really where the rim is moved over there on both sides. So go ahead and just tighten these up real quick. Some of them I'm going to do by hand. Okay, I got this thing worked over here, and it's not 100% perfect. There's a little bit of a still, like it took a hit there at some point, or just lived a rough life, but I'd say it's definitely in the acceptable range and shouldn't rub the brake pads, and definitely usable for a bit longer. Anyway, I guess that's going to wrap this video up. And any comments, questions, just be sure to leave them down there in the comment section. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching.